If you could have a video of any one event in your life, what event would you choose? Well, there are lots of big events and big moments I had thought about choosing. I really took some time with this question, initially thinking, you know, ordination day or some graduation or some momentous vacation with my family, the first time I saw the ocean, all would be great answers. But there's this event that came to mind as I thought about it that is such a sweet memory, and I would love to recapture it. I was pastor of Our Lady of Guadalupe in St. Joseph, and the Humane Society of St. Joseph sponsored a citywide pet blessing in a park downtown. And I was one of the ministers presiding at this pet blessing. And when I was at the microphone, I was holding my little dachshund, Truman, and there was a reporter right to my left who snapped a picture, and it's just the most wonderful picture. Truman is looking right at the camera, and his nose is almost on the lens, so it's an exaggerated, almost distorted image of his face, this giant nose, and these eyes looking as if to say, what are we doing here? It's raining, for goodness sake. Anyway, the pet blessing ended. Everybody ran to their cars. I drove home, and I remember driving east down Frederick Boulevard to Our Lady of Guadalupe and just seeing this beautiful cloud with rain falling. And it was just kind of it was a really beautiful day, a magical day. It's one of those times when I can't decide if time stood still or the moment just expanded in all directions, and I sort of felt like I was on the edge of heaven. Just a very blissful experience. Nothing heavily dramatic or anything, but I just had the fondest memory of that day, and I would love to have a video of it. What incredibly strong opinion or belief do you have that is completely unimportant in the grand scheme of things? Oh, probably something I've already said. You know, I think about, you know, getting hung up on locking everything, or getting hung up on people using their turn signals. Those are important, but honestly, it may not be worthy of an incredibly strong opinion, which is what the question asks. What are the top 3 things you want to accomplish before you die? I've said I really do want to write a book or publish something. I have not begun to do that, but I would love to do that. Beyond that, let's see. I think just to continue to be a good pastor and priest wherever I land, to try to continue to listen well in a parish community and help that community bring its vision to life. I think that would be something I want to keep accomplishing before I die. Gosh, I'm not really a person who sets like long-term goals that I have to do this or I have to do that. One thing I would love to do, I would love to go to Egypt. I'd love to go to China. Anywhere like that with an ancient culture. I think it would just be fascinating to walk on land where, you know, there's such a lasting visual of that ancient culture, whether it's the pyramids or palaces or whatever, even the Great Wall. I think to visit places that have ancient history that's still in some ways tangible, I would love to be able to do that. So maybe that. I'll also say I'd like to take a sabbatical one of these days. Just a time, a few months away to study and rejuvenate, and hopefully that will be near the ocean. If you could convince everyone in the world to do one thing at one point in time, what would that thing be? Oh my goodness, these questions are getting a little a little difficult to answer. Probably just be kind. If everybody was kind to each other for one moment, I think there could be a nice lasting impact. If you had a clock that would count down to any one event of your choosing, what event would you want it to count down to? You can tell I have not looked at these in advance. I'm not real sure what to say to that. I think I might skip that one. What do you wish you could tell yourself 10 years ago? What do you think you'll want to tell yourself, your current self, 10 years from now? I think I would always say, don't worry so much. You'll still be here in 10 years, and everything will be fine in 10 years. I think that's always for most of us, that's the biggest worry. Will I be okay? You know, as I face my current problems, will I survive them? Will things work out? Always good to hear that. So I wouldn't mind hearing that from myself 10 years from now. If you were forced to relive one 10-minute block of your life again and again for all eternity, what 10 minutes of your life would you choose? It might be some 10-minute block of time from the summertime when I was a kid. Maybe riding around the block on my bike with my brothers and neighbor kids. Those were wonderful times. Maybe playing basketball outside on the patio with my siblings, or playing in the backyard, playing volleyball or baseball with my siblings in the backyard. Those were really wonderful, sacred times for me. I think some 10-minute block of summertime from when I was a kid could be right there at the top. Have you ever saved someone's life? No, I don't. Not that I know of. Not in any like heroic cross the river and pull somebody to safety or catch somebody by the hand before they fall off a cliff. Not in that way. People have said before, you know, those words or that gesture really meant a lot to me, but I don't think anybody's ever said I've saved their life. What are you addicted to? Boy, this is very personal questions to get to know someone better. The last 10. I don't know that I'm addicted to anything. I would say I sometimes like my beer a little too much. I used to stop after one or two. Now I'm more like 2 or 3, and I don't think that's a heavy addiction, but sometimes I could do without that third one. I hate to admit, sometimes I buy shoes I don't need. I love nice shoes, and if they're on sale for a bargain, if they're $25 and they're regularly $250 shoes, that's a really difficult thing for me to refuse. So maybe some of that. And I don't think I'm addicted to collecting Frankoma pottery, but I like it. And if I see a piece I love, I will buy it. What keeps you up at night? Probably 2 things. What I wish I had said in a difficult situation, or what am I going to say or do in a difficult situation? I think worry, it's probably what keeps most people up at night. Let's see. What do you regret not doing? A couple things come to mind. I would say, I think I might have said this on another video. I think all adults wish they'd learned to play the violin. I regret that I never learned to play the violin. And I would say those people who after high school took a year or 2 and backpacked through Europe, I think they were smart. I think that's a great thing to do to build character, a fun thing to do. I don't know that I would have backpacked Europe, but it would have been nice at some point to take a break. I did that when I was in the seminary and took a leave, so I did it my own way. But I think there's something nice about just planning to do it, deciding to do it, and being proactive. So not huge regrets, but there's be a couple. What gives your life meaning? I have always said that one of the things I love about being a priest is that it abounds with opportunities to be creative. I think the parish is one of the most dynamic entities in our country, in our world. I think to be able to convene hundreds of people around common values and purpose and try to have a positive, lasting, meaningful impact on the world, to me, that's very exciting. I want to be able to put our faith into action in creative ways and impactful, meaningful ways that make people's lives better. So to me, to have that creative opportunity, I guess that's the key and the answer to that question. What are you most insecure about? Believe it or not, my baldness is not a big insecurity with me. I'm actually kind of loving it. It's very freeing. But I will say, and this might be kind of personal, but I've never been a real muscular person. And when I was in high school, it was always such a big deal to be an athlete, to be, and I always equated that with being muscular and strong. And I never lifted weights or did any of that when I was in school. So it's one of the exciting things for me right now about going to the gym. I'm 57 years old, so, I'll never be Arnold Schwarzenegger. But I think to claim that now, that it's something that I want to do, and I've always kind of been insecure about it. I think when you're a man, you kind of get preoccupied with muscles and strength, and, if you don't have that, you can be left feeling some insecurity. What bridges do you not regret burning? Wow. I don't know that I've burnt any. I've tried not to burn bridges. So I don't know that there are any that I do not regret burning. So I think I'll skip on from that question. What's the most illegal thing you've done? Oh, probably some serious speeding. I've run some stoplights. Let me think. I know that sounds boring, but those are the things that come to mind. So I am kind of a chicken about breaking the law, so I'm usually pretty careful about that. How do you get in the way of your own success? Oh, great question. I think worry gets in my way, and I think that can translate sometimes into being not having enough confidence in the gifts I've been given, and trusting in God. I have learned these last 4 or 5 years not to be such a critic of myself, because I think it's also being a critic of God when you do that, because we'll have these gifts that we've been given, and we need to trust those. And if we don't, we're getting in our way, and we're getting in God's way. Let's see. What's the most surprising self-realization you've had? I would say I've always been a very laid-back person, and I think when I realized that I do actually have my own anger and my own temper, it was very surprising to me, because really I've lived most of my life being pretty calm and even-tempered, and rarely losing my temper. But I think as I've gotten older and as I have more stress, there are days I do lose my temper or just get upset. And it's been actually kind of surprising to me that I actually have that ability, because, like I said, I've always been pretty laid back. How do you hope you'll change as a person in the future? Well, definitely worrying less and claiming freedom, not being so preoccupied about what this person thinks or what I might think somebody else expected me to do or to say. I think as an adult, you just have to keep claiming freedom in moving forward. What's one thing that you did that you really wish you could go back and undo? Let me think. Second last question, so I should give it a good answer. Something I wish I could undo. Probably just some stupid words I said to somebody. I don't know that there's any one thing that I just live with major regret. But I think it's probably just some flippant thing that I said that was insensitive, only to realize later that it hurt somebody's feelings. What do you most often look down on people for? That's that's a dramatic ending. Wow. I would say I guess I struggle with people who are self-absorbed, selfish, even though I think I can be, we all can be that. But I think I can be quick to judge that. And I guess as the old psychology goes, maybe we judge it because we don't like it in ourselves. So there's an auspicious ending to this list of 204 questions. So thanks for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed the list. I may find another list, or I may find some other theme moving forward, but keep taking good care of yourselves. I am so proud of how everybody has handled this shelter in place. And these are some strange days moving forward. In some ways, I think they're stranger than sheltering in place. As we start to go into this transition time, I think it's a little disorienting, but I really commend our community, commend everybody that I've been in touch with for just really handling these days with patience, with generosity, with kindness to others, and a sense of humor, a nice spirit of creativity. I'm really grateful to be connected to all of you.